madam. This is Dr. PK Shrivastava, and I would like to take up the second part of the challenges for the entrepreneurs in establishing a dairy farm. Earlier on 6th of this month, we had the first part of this presentation. This is the second part. The challenges earlier we had discussed were of two types. There are few slides I have taken, and these slides will be a part of revision for the past, what we talked on the 6th of May. So the challenges are generally external and internal. External challenges where we actually the reason is from outside, and internal challenges where the reason is from inside. External challenges, to the extent we can manage, but we can't control, but the internal challenges we can manage as well as we can control. So today we will be discussing on the internal challenges, but we'll take just a review of what we discussed last time. Last time we discussed that how the project report is formed and what it all contains. The project report generally contains 7 chapters, and this is of generally 32 to 33 pages. And then about 10 to 15 pages of annexures. So it goes about 45 pages, 46 pages. And that details everything, almost everything what a banker need or what an entrepreneur need in the exigencies. He can refer these detailed project report, and he may find the remedies which is already given into the DPR, and that can give a corrective for the cattle farm. We also discussed last time that suppose we are going to have some kind of financial linkages with bank. So what will be our, how much will be the capital investment? And we discussed that the capital investment for the 20 animals and 50 animal and 100 animals. So you will see that only the animal cost for the 20 animal becomes about 15 lakh, and for 50 animals it becomes 37.25 lakhs, and for the 100 animal it is about 75 lakhs. So the point I'm raising is that the establishing a cattle farm, a dairy farm, is generally require a lot of fund. And that is how the financial linkages, and that is how the government, or either it is central government or state government, they have come forward to help and support the new entrepreneurs. We are talking for the actual business, dairy farm business. We are not talking about the two units, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit cattle rearing. That can be done only for a producer, and the producer can, you can produce the milk, and that milk can be sold to any of the dairy houses. We are talking about the authentic dairy farm business, which cannot be sustainable unless the adult animal number goes beyond 50. So here we also exhibited about what is the subsidy we are going to get. Suppose we are going to get the subsidy on the animal purchase. So in 20 animal, it will be about 4 lakh rupees. In 50 animal, it will be about 10 lakh rupees. And in 100 animal, it will be about 19 lakh rupees. That the subsidies will be available in the general category. And that will increase for the CST categories. And the subsidy varies according to the schemes. There are various schemes government has established, government has propagated, and that schemes are of various kind of subsidies available in that. One for the animal and one for the capital investment, other investment like the equipments, one for even for the developing of the land. So we also discussed that how the consultancy works and what are the consultancy provides generally. This dairy business consultancy is one of its kind in the country, where all the business domains, it could be physical, it could be financial, it could be planning, it could be exhibition, and it could be scientific. So all these things are given from single window, that is the dairy business consultancy. It is in Bangalore, and we are providing the advisory support throughout the country and also to the abroad, other countries. It is on demand from the advisory, from the companies which are generally broadly the research companies, those who are doing the market research for the dairy business, like in UK or in other countries. So there, this consultancy is being provided as advisory support. Generally, we take up this consultancy like that. First time we will give you 1.5 hour to 2 hour a video call, and on that video call we generally decide, and we generally try to give you a platter of what is available in the country as far as the dairy business is concerned, and you can select out of that your business module. Once your business module is selected, then everything can run forward. Because once the business module is not selected, then you will always be in the dilemma, what should I do and what should I not do? Suppose you are going to have a business for the animal rearing. Not the milk is not the priority. The priority is that you are going to go become a breeder. So there, all the parameters, all different parameters for establishing a successful dairy farm changes. Where there is a priority given to the milk business, that you want to produce the milk, a quality milk, and you want to enter into the market with the farm fresh milk, then all the parameters for this establishing this kind of module varies. So the parameter will change. So that is how first we decide the business model, and that is how that we provide the. We'll go to the back side first. Let's complete that, and we'll go to that. Yeah, and thereafter everything, like you want the DPR, you want the feasibility report, you want any kind of bank linkages. Suppose the bank requires some kind of document for you, and what are the approvals have to be taken by from the government to establish a dairy business farm. So all those support we give. Even we give the agreement support. Suppose the purchaser as well as the seller, they want to have a kind of agreement for the milk supply, and that will be periodically reviewed. So periodical, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year, the business agreement we provide all those supports. Even the formation of the company we provide the support, and the training at the business houses. Suppose somebody want to start a dairy business of the 200 animal or 500 animal or 1,000 animal. So we can have the training on the spot at the dairy farm business place, and we can train the people for the work. This slides exhibits the 3 kind of module. It's very self-explanatory kind of slide. One, the production module, where we have animals and we produce the milk. That is called the dairy animal farm. And the second one is the procurement. We don't have the animal. We procure the milk from different farmers, and then we pool it. We are kind of aggregator, and that aggregation can be further processed to be sold in the market, or further processed to be sold to some of the dairy house. So either it could be a trading or it could be a direct sale to the market in the second procurement module. Service module, neither the milk nor the animal, nothing is mine. I only have a plant, and that plant will have a kind of agreement for packing your milk, processing and packing your milk in your brand. All the packing material will be supplied by you, the entrepreneur. So, but the milk is belong to the entrepreneur, and market belong to the entrepreneur. In the service module, neither market is mine, nor the milk is mine, nor the animals are mine. So this is the broadly difference between the 3 modules where we provide this consultancy. Nitty-gritties can be discussed if there is requirement. And we have basically what we have given is the cost involvement into that. The 2 to 10 acres land is required for production, and 2 to 3 acres land is required for procurement, and for service hardly 1 acre land is required. But if we go to the total investment, even 1 to 2 CR will be required for the production minimum. That is the minimum. What we have given is the minimum, and procurement 3 to 5 CR, and services 5 to 8 CR. Now we are coming for today's presentation, that is the animal management. If you go to the second slide, so you will see the internal. The first thing we have given is the review, and the second thing we have given is the animal management. Animal management, it has to be decided. Entrepreneur has to be very clear that what he want to do. Once we ask to our client that what do you want to do? I want to set up a dairy. That doesn't mean anything for us. It could be a dairy, could be for a production module, it could be for a procurement module, it could be for a service module, it could be for ancillaries. You are not at all related to the milk, but you are a equipment supplier for the dairy business. You are not at all related to the milk or even equipment, even land, nothing. You are only a software supplier for the dairy business. So dairy business is a very broader word, and we have to first pinpoint that what do you want to do. Are you going to do the milk business, like directly going to the trader, directly going to the consumers, or you are going to be a middleman like an aggregator and trader, or you are going to be not bothering about the milk, whatever comes, that in any case it will be sold or converted into the produce. But the breeding, like I want healthy heifers, and those heifers will be sold from my farm. So that is called the breeder. And breeder can select one kind of breed and they can go for that kind of business. Like this will be a Gir farm, or this will be a Sahiwal farm, or this will be a Tharparkar farm, or this will be a only Jersey farm, HF farm, like that. So that kind of thing has to be decided in the beginning by the entrepreneurs. In 99% cases, entrepreneurs are confused. What do we want to do? And that is how the problem starts. That is the big challenge. Once you decide your business module, then comes the animal mix. And once you decide and you are in the process of establishing the farm, you have to have what is my product mix? What I'm going to sell? Is it animal? Is it milk? Is it milk product? And if it is a product, then it is a fermented, it is acidified, it is desiccated, it is a fancy product like ice creams and all those things, or chocolates. I mean, what I'm going to sell. Accordingly, the milk has to be produced, because all kind of milk cannot be used for the all kind of product mix. So procurement of animals, this is a most important thing for the dairy farm. If you are going to establish a dairy farm, you must know how to procure the animals, how to bring the animals, healthy animal, a good breed animal to the farm. Animal selection is most important. And no entrepreneur, no means capital No and capital O, capital N and capital O. No entrepreneur can do it without the support of some of the technical consultant or some of the veterinarian. Veterinarians are available. Our animal husbandry department is available throughout the country, everywhere. Kindly contact them and they will support you, local support, that, okay, I'll be standing beside you to procure the animal. And that time I will see that the good animals are procured. Animals are actually, we call it the milking machine. You give a garbage and they convert into the milk. So if the machine itself is a faulty, so you understand, once the machine is faulty, obviously you are going to land into the problem. So then transport and housing of animals and labor and schedule. It's the most important that once you go for the dairy farm or once you go for any of the module, your SOP should be very clear. What is your standing operating procedure which you are going to follow in this condition? Suppose you are opening a farm in hilly terrain, you are opening a farm in a desert, if you are opening a dairy farm in lush green area. So what is the SOP you are going to do, and the climate itself, because it is a live animal, the climate will affect the comfort to the animal will affect to the milk production. Plant management equally, because once you have managed the animal, once you have managed the land, once you have managed all other areas, nitty-gritties for establishing a dairy farm, then there will be certain plants as well. The cattle feed plant, it comes the first and foremost thing, and mineral mixture. These things have to be, suppose you are purchasing from the market and you are procuring in-house, there is a difference of almost double. You are going to pay double to the outside market, and in half you can procure, you can manufacture in your own plant. So that is important, and that is why the plant management, and every plant will have a standard operating procedure. So that has to be followed. Chaffing, most of the time, majority of states in the country, they run their farm with their own type of system of management of a dairy farm. In Karnataka, for example, they will not chaff the fodder, green fodder or dry fodder. They will feed the animal as it is. It is the job of the animal to chew it. They don't understand, or wherever it is, this practice is followed. In most of the part of the country, this practice is followed. They don't chaff the fodder, and the result is the animal which is going to survive for 10 years, that is going to give you milk for 6 to 7 lactation very easily, it stops giving milk in 4 to 5 lactation, just because the teeth are worn out, because it has been struggling with the chewing of the fodder. So cutting of the fodder, chaffing of the fodder is very important, and that has to be adopted. So biogas plant, dung management. Dung has to be managed. If you are not managing the dung, you are creating a kind of atmosphere where diseases will be formed, and those diseases will generally put you under losses, because animal will start suffering and you will not find a remedy for that. Though there are remedies, but always precaution is better than the remedy. So you must think of the precaution. So handling of the solid waste plant is very important. For that, gobar gas plant is there, water softener plant is there. You may have to go for the ETP plant, effluent treatment plant, because that can be, suppose you are going for the milk plant, there will be a protein coming out, fat coming out into the effluent, and in that has to be separated, and then the water has to be recycled for the green zone development. So these are the things you have to manage. These are the challenges. People just don't think on this, and they suffer a lot, because diseases can sweep out the entire farm. So it is up to you. And like BMC and milk product plants, suppose you are going for establishing a curd plant, a paneer plant, a ghee plant, a cheese plant, a butter plant, whatever you are going to have, it will have some kind of effluent, and it will have its own SOP, standard operating procedure. It has to be followed, not a shortcut. The moment you take the shortcut, you are inviting some problem, and we call it a challenge. Generally, you have to face all these things with full positivity, and then you can run the dairy business into profit. Fodder and feeding, you will find in these, whatever we have discussed, the first slide, animal management, and the plant management. Now we have come to the fodder and feeding. So you will see everything is in my hand. Animals are within the boundary, laborers are in my hand, and feed and fodder, or whatever we have discussed, all plants are in our hand. All SOPs are provided by the plant manufacturers, or if not, some SOPs have not been provided, take the guidance from the technical consultant, and they will give you a SOP, and that SOP you continue with that. So it is all, nothing comes from outside. It is you who has to manage. It is you who have to control. And that is why we call it the internal challenges. Generally, we miss it. And the moment we miss it, we miss the train. Here also, fodder and feeding, I will be impressing a little bit more here, because this is the 90% reason of failure of a dairy farm business. Because people do not understand that group feeding is most important. You cannot feed all the animal equally. And generally, in most of the farm, I would say about 75% farms, whether organized farm, unorganized farm, laborer decide what to feed and how to feed. And those laborers only decide same kind of measurement for all the animal. It is on the animal to decide whether to eat or not to eat. They don't know the cattle doesn't have a kind of sensory control on feeding. The cattle can go on feeding and develop, develop the tympani, develop diseases, the bloating and tympani, and many animal dies out of this. So the laborers will not understand all this. It is the job of the entrepreneur to understand, take the technical guidance, and follow the group feeding. If it is a milking animal, different feed has to be given. In the green fodder, dry fodder, or even the cattle feed, all these things will be different in quantity for the milk animal, for the dry animal different. If the animal is dry, right, agreed, but at the same time the animal is late pregnant. So that pregnancy has to be understood, that animal is carrying a baby and huge baby. So for that, the animal should be compensated in the ration. Similarly, the heifer should not be fed so much as a cow can be fed. So all these things has to be, understood, that everything should be made in a grading and groups, and technical consultants are available to guide you. Even universities are available to guide you. Even veterinary colleges are available to guide you. Please seek the help. That is the point, to be into the profit. Similarly, the labor I have already indicated, they don't listen because they have never taken any training. They have taken training from their boss, and his boss also never took any training. And that is how the customary goes prevails. And generally they believe that we are the runner of the plant farm, and actually they are the reason for most of the closure of the farm. And there is a lot of other things, but once we come to the next, suppose we get the next slot, then we'll be coming for the training part. The most important is the financial support, and most important is where is the trained manpower to run a scientific dairy farm. And why Western countries are having huge farms, and why we are having huge plants. They don't have that much huge plants. They are having huge number of animals in the farm. And what in India, we have huge dairy plant, 20 lakh liter, 30 lakh liter, 50 lakh liter, 1 CR plant capacity we are having the plant. So it is going to be reversed slowly and slowly, because the consumer has understood the processed milk and the fresh milk has got a lot of difference. So they are now demanding, and they have the paying capacity. So they are paying more. As last time I indicated, why the Akshardham is able to, Akshakalpa is able to sell the milk in 98 rupee a liter, and why Nandini is able to sell only hardly 42 rupee a liter. Milk is same. That is also processed. This is also processed. But what is the difference? That the traceability is there. You can trace the Akshakalpa milk from where it is coming, which farm it is coming. So the traceability later on becomes important as the consumer becomes more wise and advanced. Maybe we'll be running a little 5 to 7 minutes more than 30 minutes of my talk. But yes, let us cover this thing. So I was telling here that the fodder and feeding is the most important thing, and it is the 70% of the recurring cost of any of the cattle farm. So will you not concentrate on the 70%? Generally, what happened? The first of all, the entrepreneur want to open a dairy farm. He will take a land and he will buy the animal. He will not bother what animal will eat. Has he stocked the animal? Whatever the animal feed is available, fodder is available, dry fodder. Has he shown the green fodder? So those things generally becomes a big challenge. And later on, he start looking for, from where to and what to. Right. Health and breeding is most important. Most of the time, people raise this query. Sir, there is a need of a veterinarian for running the farm. No, not at all. If you are not allowing anybody entering into the farm, if you are not allowing the entry of the germ in the farm, if you are sensitive that my farm is my earning place and I have to be very, very strict on that who enters in my farm, so then the diseases will not travel here. Believe me, it is the human being who brings the diseases to the animal. And animal also bring the diseases. But when the animal is being purchased from the farm where already disease prevails, and nobody keeps the record that this animal had actually FMD, nobody will give you this record. And that animal is coming to your farm and it is already suffering with the foot and mouth disease. So obviously there is a reason for that. So there is a technology given that you give a quarantine. Let the animal be there for 10 days, 15 days. And you do all the care of the animal separately. It's a quarantine shed. And there you can do all the care of the animal. And finally, if there is some symptom arising of any of the diseases, like mastitis, brucellosis, tuberculosis, and many more, we will discuss into this. So that animal can be treated first, and then it has to be put to the total, farm herd. However, everything keeping into mind, even then animal can fall sick. So we have to keep screening the animals. And how can we screen? There is a screen, very simple. You see, in country, the prevalence of mastitis in the farms are about more than half of the farms are having mastitis. And hardly 1 or 2% farms, they go for the screening of the mastitis. It is ununderstandable kind of laziness why we are not able. It's very simple. You take a black plate and you put the strip of the animal directly from the udder, and you will see the flakes. If the flakes are there, animal is suffering from mastitis. Matter ends, and that animal can be separated, treated, or eliminated from the farm, suppose it want to be. So anyway, these animals can be sold to the individual farmers, and those farmers will take care of these animals, because in a group of animals, of 100 animal or 50 animal farms, it is very difficult to take care of the individual animals' diseases. It has to be shifted to the disease shed, and there it has to be taken care. Either it has to be sold to the farmer at a lower rate and let the farmer take care of that, and telling that this animal is suffering with this, please get the treatment. He is the doctor, he will take care of that. So all that thing has to be into the place. And these are costing nothing. It's a penny wise, pound foolish. We spend nothing actually to have a black plate. We spend nothing in the brucellosis, TB. TB is nothing. Take a drop of blood, put on the slide, and put on the antigen of the TB. It will tell the animal is suffering from TB or not. It's very simple. No science and no microscope and no electronic scope is required into these things. But hardly any farm is following that. So these are the challenge. And later on, they say that, sir, the farm, my farm got this disease and it suffered. Then the vaccination. all the bacterial diseases, parasitic diseases, we are treating with this. But then the viral diseases, you can't do anything. You can't stop also. So the only thing is that take the vaccination. What we did in the corona, in the COVID-19, we took vaccinations. And that is how the animals are suffering. Nobody bothers about their vaccination. The schedule is there. The doctors are available. The animal husbandry department is there. Free vaccination is available. They will not go for that. They will not bother for these things. And they will bother once the animals start getting the sickness. General inspection, you have to see the face, walk, feed, regurgitation, how the animal is doing. An individual animal can be watched in the farm because any sick animal, any animal which is getting any kind of problem, any kind of physiological problem, first of all, animal will eliminate from the group. So the laborer can be trained for this thing. You have to watch the face. Face is different of a sick animal. How the animal will walk differently. It will stop feeding or it will reduce feeding and there will be no regurgitation. So these are the indications, technical indications. People know about this, but generally the laborer will not bother because the animal farm was left to the laborer to run and the owner sits somewhere else. So that is how this is the problem. And these are the bigger challenge. The bigger challenge is the animal, the farm owners generally don't devote time with animals. And that is how they suffer with the losses. So to contain all these things, these are the methods. These are the strategies we are providing to the entrepreneurs so that they can take their farm into the profit and they can run the farm eternally into profit. Absolutely, this is 100%. 100% giving margin profit business that we had shown last time a slide, that how minimum profit is 57% and maximum is 120% if you can reap that. So you have to be in the link with the animal husbandry department. They are available. You have to be with them. You have to call them. You have to be friendly with them, that this is what, right? Similarly, the breeding. Breeding is another, left to the animal husbandry department, left to the inseminator. He decides. It is the HF. He will put any kind of semen, whatever available to him. Jersey semen is put into the HF. Gir semen put into the HF. Jersey is receiving the semen of HF and then suffering of the dystocia. HF is a bigger cow. Jersey is a smaller cow. Obviously, the HF baby will be bigger and the Jersey baby will be smaller. If the Jersey is receiving the semen of the HF bull, so obviously the baby is going to stuck into the uterus, and that is called dystocia. And now the animal is suffering. Who is responsible? So you have to keep the record, keep the AI equipments in the farm, keep the semen doses in the farm as per the breed mix. I'm keeping the HF crosses, Jersey crosses. Okay, I'll keep Jersey cross semen, HF cross semen. I'm keeping Gir and Sahiwal. Very good. I'll keep Gir semen dose and Sahiwal semen doses. And Gir will be bred with the Gir and Sahiwal will be bred with the Sahiwal. So artificial insemination is good, right? Very good. Very important thing to do in the farm. But which semen where? Then hardly anybody knows how to detect the heat. It's a full chapter. We can't discuss here. But once you miss the heat, you miss 6,000 rupees. Suppose you miss the heat of 10 animals. You have missed the 60,000 rupees loss. If animal eats for 200 rupees per day, and now it will be coming into heat after 1 month. So you can multiply that and you can see the 6,000 rupees it has missed. And you will find in the farm, mostly miss of the heat is a common practice in the farm. So these are the challenges. It is in our control. We can control it, but we are not able to. We are not aware, maybe. And we are aware, then we are ignorant, maybe. The trained staff, training is a big question in this country. That if the time permit, we'll take a full thing on the training and the benchmarks. Then only this thing will be completing, that all the challenges will be covered. The trained owner, trained laborers, not available. Trained owners, very rarely. They only have the money. And they want that somebody else should run the business. And that is how it doesn't work. Right? Quality control. First thing is important. It is a brown collar disease, but it needs the quality to be served. So you cannot have, whatever thing you are doing, it should be done in a quality way. Mostly it is ignored because the laborers, those who are always with the animals, they don't know ABCD of this quality assurance. So they just go on with their own system. Thank you very much. Anybody comes, even the labor also gone out of the farm and coming inside the farm, no botheration. He is not passing through the dip. He is not washing his hand. He is not changing the clothes. No, not at all, because animal and labor they believe that we are the same. So they don't bother about this. But actually it is not. He is carrying a lot of diseases from outside. And it is true that he has to go to the market. We are not stopping that. We are stopping only thing. Then take the sanitization and then you enter into the farm. Change the cloth and then you enter into the farm. So these are the things. And that feed fodder. Whatever the raw material we are buying, are we buying some kind of edible material or just third class material we are buying that animal is going to eat? If you are going to cheat the animal, animal is going to cheat you. It's almost the same. It will not speak. It has got only one method, reduce the milk. And the second method, reduce the milk. And third method is reduce the milk. No other method. So now you have to decide whether you have to be quality conscious and keep the animal in a good atmosphere where the animal is happy. The moment you enter into the farm, animal starts smiling to you. People will start laughing. How animal will smile? Yes. Once you be with the animals, animal start smiling. Animal listen. Animal listen your word. You might have heard that lot of the cow owners, they have been giving the names to the cows, and they call the name and the cow comes or buffalo comes. Buffalo generally is not so sensitive as the cow, but even then. So you have to be aligned with the animal. So animal feel comfortable, you become comfortable. Always wherever you are keeping the animals, please use the blinders. Let animal not be visible by any passerby from outside. It get disturbed. Once the animal is regurgitating, stop any kind of noise. Let the animal regurgitate there. So if the regurgitation is stopped, animal is going to develop acidosis, and then we can control our acidosis with pentoside 40. But how we are going to control for the animals? So let us be very careful on all these things. Human, animal, every hygiene is important. Dung management is important. Shed management, shed cleaning is important. Drains, sumps, cleaning up sump periodically, and even the covering of the compost pits. Everything is important to stop the diseases, to make the animal healthy, to make the farm smelling a very good animal farm. Similarly for the mosquitoes, similarly for the flies. The more the cow dung is open, the flies will come and fly transmit viral diseases as well as parasitic diseases. Selection and culling, most important. This is a process. Even nature also selection and culling. We have just now passed through the process. In COVID-19, whatever we did, The nature cleaned a lot of things. And we understood that what is sanitization. And the same thing we have to remember for the animals also. Otherwise, nature is cleaning that also. So you have to be getting the signal from nature. The animal gets sick, finally get dead, and you get losses. So better be sanitized, be controlled, and don't allow passerby to enter any time into the farm. Farm should have a schedule. Animal is resting. No, nobody will go there. But when we talk these things, people start smiling. Sir, is it possible? People are doing it. Go to the lot of ethically maintained farm, cattle farm. You will see they are never disturbed. I'm not talking for that. People go there also with the puri, halwa, lot of bananas. This is not the food of a cow. Cow need fodder. It doesn't need halwa. But they will go. This is badam halwa. Cow, I want to feed the cow. Because the cow, my father was liking this. So today, Father's Day, I'm going to feed the cow. Cow is going to develop acidosis. Cow is going to develop tympani, impaction. 1 week, it will not be able to eat the fodder. Who is responsible? So you always discontinue.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt. We have completed 42 minutes, sir. If you can finish in another 5 minutes, I'll take up the questions from the participants.
Okay. So anything you purchase, keep the quality. Storage also, dry fodder, everything should be in the store. There should be materials and there should be enough space for the storage. And then we go for, marketing and accounting. Unless you have the data, unless you keep the data per animal, unless you keep the financial data per day, per week, and quarterly, and then 6 monthly, and then finally annually. If you are going to have the data annually, then you will not be able to correct whatever the bad deeds were done in the year. So it's better to take the quick actions, weekly data or at least monthly data, so that you have the time to correct it. And tomorrow you will be having. So accounting system should be strong. Data management should be strong. Data collection will be strong. Which semen was given? How many times the semen dose was given? Why it was given? How many repeat bidders are there in the farm? So these things are most important. Who are my creditors? Go to the accounting side. Who are my creditors? Have we responded to them? Who are debtors? We have responded to them. What is my inventory? Are we ready with the stocks and all those things? So this before and after, let us skip this slide. And these are we call it benchmark. If time permits, next time we will see. Benchmarks are nothing. Actually, these are markers. They will tell you that which direction your farm is going. Like, take an example, whether my cow is giving a calf every year or not. If not, whether my cow is being pregnant after 3 months of the first pregnancy or second pregnancy or not. Means the next pregnancy should be there within 3 months. Is it going on or not? Whether my cow was given a dose, semen dose, and was checked in 60 days or not. If not, then you consider that, oh, I have given the insemination, the cow is pregnant, finally you find after 6 months, oh, nothing is happening, cow is not pregnant. Actually, there is some problem in the uterus, animal is not coming into the heat. So you have to go on questioning, because there are markers given. Like for the cow, 28 to 32 months is given for first time pregnancy. For buffalo, it is given 32 to 36 months. So like that, these markers indicate you, and then you can keep your farm on the benchmark. And that's all. This also will skip. Any question, ma'am? Sorry, I have taken little more time.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for a detailed and informative presentation. And now I will take up the questions from the participants. In the meantime, can you please stop sharing the screen, sir?
Yeah, I'll do that.
You will have it in the top, sir, red color.
Top, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. The first question is, uh, can you talk about some successful dairy projects you have set up?
Yeah. Yeah. Dairy projects have been set up in Andhra. For the safety reason, ma'am, we are not sharing the more detail about any of the client. That is our first and foremost, motto. We don't share any detail. But yes, the Andhra Pradesh, which is now Telangana, in Hyderabad, there are 2 farms being set up. And there earlier also in Rajasthan we have set up, in Haryana we have set up, and every farm is beyond 50 animals, because that is our rider. If it is less than 50, you are not going to recover your cost and you are going to make the losses. That is the problem. Not today, tomorrow. And what is the what we used to monitor in our setup farms? In Karnataka also we have set up one farm in Western Ghat, and in Kerala we have set up in near Cochin. So farms are there, other projects are there, which are the procurement projects, where the startups have been started and they are supplying the milk to the consumer directly. They are small holders, obviously, but they are able to do, because our second motto is we'll be helping to the new budding entrepreneurs instead of helping to the companies, because companies are actually getting help in any case from anywhere. It is the new entrepreneur who want to earn his livelihood or want to become an entrepreneur. There is hardly any support in the country. So I'm really sorry, we cannot give the tidbits that are nitty-gritty or the addresses where we have set up. But this is for 12th year going on, and we have set up at least about 11 farms, and they are running. Maybe the number may not be more than 230 animals, but the farms are doing good on the profit side and as well as the SOP side. Yes.
Okay. Most dairy loans become NPA. What are the reasons why these projects fail?
This is for the first time NABARD has understood our point. We have been raising this query in all our forums in the entire country, wherever there is a chance to raise this thing. We have been raising, sir, it is always good and it is always required, looking to the our economic condition of the people in the country. 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 8 units, you can definitely give the support of the loan. But that can never make a person as entrepreneur. It can be milk producer only. It cannot be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is different. Producer is different. Producer is always depending on some other dairy houses for selling its goods, selling its raw milk. An entrepreneur is the person, it is selling directly to the consumer with its own farm produced or maybe collected milk, pooled milk. So we have been requesting, sir, in the case of farm, less than 50 is never a sustainable thing. How it is being sustained and how the farmers are doing this, ma'am, they will not add their labor in that. So their labor is free. Whatever is the agri residue they get in their houses, they can feed their 2 to 3 animals. Suppose you are having 4 animals. Out of 4 animals, 2 are pregnant, they have become dry. So then your livelihood is resting only on 2 animals. That also it may be in late lactation or maybe in early lactation. So it doesn't make a kind of business. It can give you a livelihood. So now for the first time, NABARD has realized and they have changed their format, including earlier whatever is there, it continues. but they have gone up to 50 animals. And they will be now funding for the 50 animals. Why it is becoming NPA? There are two reasons. One reason is that majority of uh, uh, loan seekers generally are not very serious to opening the farm. They are very much serious to getting the loan. And then most of the places, they will invest the money or spend the money somewhere else. And that is how NABARD in this new scheme, they have used the word, the misappropriation. To stop the misappropriation, we are taking these steps. Means there is some kind of, this thing. So this is one reason. Another reason, the loan is given to the person who is not able to feed the animal, to treat the animal, and to give the comfort to the animal. Go to the villages, you will see how animal is kept. The person is given loan and he has bought the animal. Obviously, he is a poor person. He doesn't have the livelihood. So we cannot expect that it will create a shed for the animal. So most of the time, animal are tied below the tree or somewhere in the tangy place inside where it cannot breathe properly. But ultimately, animal has to live. So what happens, slowly and slowly, the animal either catches the diseases or due to the stress condition, generally the animal goes reducing the milk. And the person who has taken the loan, he is poor enough to give the facility or give the treatment or whatever. So that becomes a NPA because the milk is not coming. So the person is not able to repay the loan. So becomes, whatever it is a small amount, but it becomes NPA. And majority of NPA you will find is due to small loans. And obviously bigger loan also, but the intention of the entrepreneur was not to open a farm or open a farm, but yes, major money was spent somewhere else. So that is how it becomes the NPA.
Okay. What type of consultancy services do you provide in dairy?
That we last time also you raised this question, and we had tried to explain it through slides. I think one sentence will be the answer, that any kind of query you have in the dairy business, please approach us, and we will be able to give you a full scale that this is the module which you should follow. And for if you are location wise, if you are here, if you are somewhere else, so we will be a distance advisory guide, and we will also give you a support locally. Somebody will be there whom we will tell you that how to go ahead, and you can have a local support. So that kind of advisory support we have.
Okay.
Anything, any module.
Okay. The next question is, what are the requirements an entrepreneur should have before approaching you for consultancy?
The requirement that he should have some land. Without land, no dairy business, whether it is any module, procurement, production, or services, has to have a land. Because whenever you go for the financial alignment with some of the financial institutions, land is a must. So first thing is land. Second thing, his interest should be there. The module is decided based on three things: his interest, his resources, and feasibility. I can seek for going to the sky, but there should be feasibility to go to the sky. So these three things should be there in the person. We should have land for sure, and some fund. Without fund, you please don't think for the dairy. Dairy is a fund oriented and labor oriented and brown collar job. So if you are able to handle with all these three things, you please come to us. We'll help you.
Okay. What are the typical dairy projects that are profitable?
Dairy projects are profitable when they start from lower and go to the higher. The lower number we call 20 animals. then 80 animals, 60, 80 animals. Then we go 120 animals, then 200 animals, like year wise. First year you manage with 20 animals. Second year you go to the 60 to 80 animals. Third year you go to, so this is how gradually if you manage. But people become more enthusiastic. No, sir, we have the power. Sir, I'm not going to take fund from anybody. Sir, it is my money. I always ask, even if it is your money, the money should earn at least the minimum interest of 6 to 7%, 8%, what the bankers are giving nowadays. So that you will not be able to earn. Number two, you don't have any exposure. The training, the government, entire country, we have given the next module if we go for that, or otherwise I'll share the, whosoever is interested, I'll share the full list that what are the trainings available in this country. Most of the training institutes are looking for the people to come for the training. If they go for 3 days training, 1 week training, they will have at least some kind of marker in their mind that I should do this and I should not do this. And balance, they could go to any of the dairy consultant and they will help. So 3 things are important: land, his intention, and feasibility is most important, and some kind of resources which can be put in. Because in any case, any of the loan requires seed money. At least 25% seed money has to be there. And dairy business, you can't run below 2 CR. So if you are thinking of below 2 CR, please don't enter into the dairy business. It is not possible.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question. Do you also assist in marketing? If yes, in what way?
Yes. Nowadays, marketing has taken a sea change. No need to go for, earlier marketing system when you have to. What you have to do is that you have to go for the software. So many softwares are available nowadays. Billing, marketing, demand fetching, everything, every steps are covered. And finally, is your job only to manage the cold chain management. That's all. And delivery. The cold chain management is required because the milk is a perishable commodity. And delivery is most important. Like you must have seen, the pizza will not come in 30 minutes. It becomes free. So that is a kind of caption given to you that, sir, we are delivering on time. So milk also required. You go to the milk business, you will see in the morning, the milk reaches into the morning earliest, sells most. So there are now it is not difficult for marketing if you go through the softwares, app-based marketing. So your money is secured. You can do the push marketing. You can do the early sale, like sale in advance, like you deposit the money for 6 months or 3 months or 1 month or 1 week, and we'll supply you. And then you supply. In this marketing, nowadays, it has become very important to address the grievances. That is very important. It was earlier, it was not there. Nobody was bothering. Like today, if you take the Nandini milk and you go for the complaint, sir, there is a problem in Nandini. And if somebody listens, you will be lucky. But if you take any of the private app-based milk, Nandini milk only supplied by app, and you make a complaint, the person will be next day at your door. What is the problem, madam? I'll be available. Yes, this is your replacement. So that has changed now. Earlier, we were considering milk as an essential commodity. Now it is an essential commodity as well as it should be as per your requirement. Easement should be there to reach to the milk or its product. So marketing has changed. Yes. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. How do you charge for your consultancy?
It is 1.5 to 2% for the project based, and we don't include the cost of the land because cost of the land is huge. So 1.5 to 2% depending on the size of the project. If the size of the project is more, we can even charge 0.5% of the project cost, because sometimes project cost is huge. Sometimes it goes to the 8 crore, 10 crore. So in that case, we decide as per the project, how the detailed project is there, and how big the project is there, and how easy the entrepreneur is to run the project, and how eager. We sense in the beginning itself, ma'am, that this person is only looking for the loan. Many people come to us, sir, can you manage the loan? We fold our hand, and we say, no, we are not into that. But we will give you all the channels how to go to meet to this person, and go to take our DPR, go along with that, and you will get a success, no issue. But generally, people are shortcuts, so we don't believe in shortcuts.
Okay, we have one last question, sir. What are some current trends in dairy business?
Current trends is now the whole thing has changed, madam. You have raised the best question in the last. This current change in the consumerage has changed so much. Eating at house is slowly reducing. So that way that majority of people want to eat outside. Thanks to Corona, or I will not thank, because it is the right of the consumer where he want to eat. So now after Corona, there is some dip into that, eating outside, carried food, right? Takeaway, all these things are becoming a trend. And then, the comfortability of keeping the dairy product. I want that my dairy product should retain, it should not trouble me, that I kept the milk today and evening I'm seeing it is a curdle. That I don't want. So my comfortability, that is how the products which has got cheese, which has got butter, which has got other proteins, they are increasing in the market. I'll give you an example. Amul, everybody knows about Amul. When it started with the liquid milk. Amul came to the 20% of the milk converted into the product. And now you know what is the motto for the Amul? 80% milk will be converted into the products, and only 20% will be the liquid milk. And even liquid milk has the product. Like Nandini, you get a pouch, and also you get a brick. Similarly, Amul, you get a pouch, and also you get a brick. So brick is packed in the Tetra Pak. That brick, you can keep it for 6 months, 90 days, 3 months, depending on the packing material. So people want comfortability, reachability, traceability, and the palatability. The consumer want palatability. It should be, good to the palate. Forget about the health. That will take later.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to thank Dr. PK Shrivastava for the talk and for answering all the questions. I'd like to thank all the participants in the meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you very much, madam.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir.